Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to be doing something pretty different from what I usually do. I'm going to be doing what if Naruto had every anime power. Now this might seem stupidly crazy and absolutely broken, and you guys already know how this what if is going to turn out, but I decided to make it anyways. So please like and subscribe and enjoy the video. So this what if is going to be absolutely stupid and broken and unreasonable in every way possible. And you guys probably already know how this is all going to turn out, which is exactly what I love about it. So we start off at a night, the night of Naruto's birth. And we skip to right around when Minato had already dealt with Obito and now was trying to deal with the Nine Tails. Now, the Nine Tails tried to claw Naruto, trying to kill the baby Naruto, but Kushina and Minato both got in the way, taking the nail right through the body for Naruto, saving his life. After this, Minato used his last moments of life to seal the Nine Tails within Naruto, and after that, both Minato and Kushina died. Now, seeing both of his parents die, Naruto, who was just a baby, still noticed this, and suddenly, something changed in him. Naruto's hair started to glow this crazy rainbow RGB color, right? Like just the way you see in the thumbnail. And an explosion of power released from him. Like, this explosion of power was so OP, like you wouldn't even understand. And this is when Naruto gains every anime power in the universe. And you guys might be like, but what sort of backstory is that? And my answer is, well, here's the thing. I am the narrator for the story, so I decide how he gets every single power in the anime universe. And in this case, he just gets it, because I will not be dealing with having Naruto go to every single anime universe and, just learn everything there and come back to the Naruto universe. That'd take like an entire hour of storytelling. So, this is how he does it. Now, this is when we have a time skip all the way to, when does Naruto get to the academy? All the way to Naruto's first day at the academy. By now, Naruto already has completely mastered all of his powers, because the title of this what if is what if Naruto had every anime power, not manually learnt them through eons of hard work. No, Naruto just has them, which is a big part of what makes this what if so incredibly OP. So, a lot of the villagers still hated him though, nobody really liked him because he was still known as the Nine Tails brat, and nobody liked him. And also, guys, sorry if you hear a bunch of background noise and audio cutting, cause there's so much background noise and I have to keep cutting the video. So yeah, that is happening. I'm recording this in 30-second clips and pausing it every minute, Anyways, we skip to Naruto's first day at the academy, and he just walks into class. As everyone recognizes Naruto, although Naruto doesn't really recognize a lot of people because, he doesn't really get a lot of social interaction. Everybody mostly just hates him and nobody just talks to him. So Naruto sits down and, nobody sits around him. He's just sitting all by himself at a table, and that's all. Now, since this is the first day at the academy, Iruka decides what better way to start off the academy than have a quick little test, not a test, but like a quick test exam, sort of quiz, not quiz, but like a quick exam just to see what level all of the students are at, just to assess their general, how good they are, how much experience they have, that sort of stuff. So, they start with the written portion of the exam, and Naruto, just, looks at his paper and is like, yo, I don't know any of this stuff. But is there an anime power that lets people get any knowledge they want? Personally, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, so I'll just say Naruto doesn't really do much for this first part. All he does is he copies other people's answers because he can do that easily. He can easily copy other people's answers without anybody noticing. So he just mostly does that, and using that he gets a pretty average score, maybe a little bit above average, right? But that is not where Naruto shines, because this is when we skip to the physical exam. First, there's kunai throwing, and Naruto just activates his just a little bit of his 0.01% of his strength, and that's all the precision he needs to get 10 out of 10 in kunai and shuriken throwing. And you guys might be like, well, that was pretty easy. Yeah, it was. After that, they have a physical exam where, they just do laps running around until everyone stops. And, everybody starts off, and slowly people start dropping out. Sakura goes out, all the other kids go out, until it's just Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke at this point is already pretty mad at Naruto for beating him in the shuriken and kunai throwing, so this time he's determined to beat him and prove that he's stronger. But Naruto, noticing that it's just them two left, he's like, okay. And he starts slowly picking up his pace, getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and by 1 minute later, Sasuke is having to almost sprint full speed to keep up with Naruto, while Naruto isn't even breaking a sweat. And after 3 minutes of this, Sasuke just has to drop out. And Iruka's like, oh, good job, Naruto. Let's see how long you can go. And Naruto, hearing this, is like, you think I will eventually get tired and drop out? Bro, if you left me here for centuries and then came back, I would still be running. And to prove that, he goes crazy high speed, right? He uses, what does he use? Let's say he just uses Saitama's speed, right? He just pulls out Saitama's speed and starts running around the entire field so fast that all Iruka can see is a bunch of after images of Naruto running the laps. And after 5 minutes of this, Iruka's like, okay, Naruto, we get it, you've broken a record, you can stop now. And Naruto's like, oh, good. But I only did a couple million laps so far. I could have done a bunch more. And Iruka's like, yeah, that's enough laps. You don't have to do any more. Naruto's like, really? Okay. And Sasuke here is just like, what on earth was that? That speed is faster than Itachi. And Sasuke, being Sasuke, is refusing to accept that anything can be possibly better than Itachi in any way. So, he's just like, no, Itachi must be faster than Naruto. And after this, it's everyone's favorite part, sparring. Now, everybody does their normal spars, but we already know what we're here to watch. Naruto versus Sasuke. Now, as they both step in the ring and get called up, Sasuke's like, Okay, now this is the true test of skill. Nothing really matters about who can run more laps, but who wins in a fight is what really matters, just like lying to himself to comfort himself about losing to Naruto at everything else. And Naruto's just standing there, stretching and everything, and Iruka says, "Go!" as Naruto just continues to stand there, standing still. And this gets Sasuke so mad that he runs in at Naruto, literally doing like a jab and a cross and an uppercut and then a kick and then a jump tornado kick, side kick, reverse, whatever kick he can find, right? And he does all of this using a complete combo on Naruto. And Naruto stands there tanking every blow and doesn't even flinch. As Sasuke goes in for one more kick, and Naruto extends his hand as, he just holds Sasuke's hand and leg in place. He's like, "Good attempt, but you'll have to do better than that." As he throws Sasuke away. Sasuke's like, "But how is that possible?" As he's like, "No matter." As he starts weaving hand signs, right? And he's like, "Okay, well, guess what? You might have survived that, but this will kill you." As Sasuke starts weaving hand signs and says, "Fireball Jutsu," as he sends a huge fireball in Naruto's direction, like humongous fireball, right? And Naruto just says, "Zawaru," because guess what? Naruto has every power and he can freeze time. Did he have to freeze time to survive this? No. He could have easily destroyed Sasuke. But did he want to just to flex? Yeah, he did. And he froze time with the fireball just starting to get out of Sasuke's mouth as he took out Zawarudo, or the world, and just took him out and started punch barraging Sasuke very lightly because he doesn't want to kill Sasuke. As he said, "Muda, muda, 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 muda." Sorry for my terrible impression, but he just barrages Sasuke with a bunch of punches, light punches, because he doesn't want to kill Sasuke. Because he could easily, but he doesn't want to. As time resumes, and nobody knows what happened, because in their eyes, Naruto just teleported, and Sasuke just got flung out of the Earth's atmosphere into orbit. But Naruto did what he did. It was probably just his immense speed and strength. As Sasuke, they see a huge bird falling from the sky. And like, "What's that?" And then they realize that's not a bird, that's Sasuke just falling because he was sent so high from that punch. And Naruto's like, "Oh, wait, just a second. I'll catch him." As he just starts flying, right? He literally starts flying, and he flies up to the sky and catches, he just catches Sasuke, and then he floats back down to the ground. And everybody's jaw drops, and they're like, "Naruto can fly." As Naruto just puts his hand on Sasuke, as all of Sasuke's wounds start to heal. And everybody is like, "Nah, Naruto, this is a dream. There's no way Naruto is this strong. Is this like the Nine Tails abilities?" As, Naruto's just smirking. And, Sakura's like, "How dare you do that? You shouldn't have hurt Sasuke like that. You had no right to. Sasuke is still stronger than you." And Sakura does the whole thing that she always does. And Naruto uses Nen. You guys know what Nen is from Hunter x Hunter, as he uses his Nen to direct his bloodlust towards Sakura. Just the way that Hisoka did to Gon and Killua before they tried to enter the final stage of the, what was it called, Heaven's Arena? Yeah. If used correctly, that ability can kill people. Just your Nen infused with bloodlust can actually kill non-experienced Nen users, and since Sakura can't use Nen at all, she has no counter for it. As she just gets paralyzed and falls to the ground in fear of this incredible bloodlust that Naruto is emitting. And Naruto's like, "You done speaking?" And Iruka watching this is like, what the heck just happened there? And after the whole spar, Iruka's like, "Yeah, Naruto, I think you won. Yeah, class dismissed, guys. You can go. Yeah." As Iruka just runs to the Hokage's office, and Naruto's like, "Really? They're that scared of me? Am I really that strong?" Well, okay. And Iruka runs to Hiruzen's office, and he's like, "Hiruzen, I have to explain to you what happened." And he's like, "Okay, so Naruto took like a bunch of blows straight to the face from Sasuke without flinching, caught his leg, teleported, sent Sasuke flying into the sky through some sort of like telekinesis ability. Then he flew, caught Sasuke and carried him down, healed all of his incredible injuries, and then did some sort of weird bloodlust paralyzation thing on Sakura." And Iruka is just explaining all of this stuff to Hiruzen, who's just like, "Did you just wake up from a bad dream?" And Iruka's like, "No, believe me, this is all real." And Hiruzen's like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out for myself." As he heads off to Naruto's house. Now, he just goes to Naruto's house and rings on his doorbell and is like, "Hey, Naruto, I heard some stuff happened at the sparring sessions today. Is it true?" Naruto's like, "Yeah, of course it's true. Like, why wouldn't it be? Why are you guys so surprised anyway? I'm not that strong." As in his head, he's like, "These guys don't know how strong I am. That was less than 1% of my power. I can literally destroy and create dimensions." Because Naruto has every anime power. Like, he is the strongest anime character in the world right now, right? And Hiruzen's like, "Wow, you must be really strong." And Naruto's like, "Did you want something? Like, you can come inside and eat spoiled ramen with me." And Hiruzen's like, "No, it's fine. Yeah, I should get going now." As Naruto's like, "Okay, your loss." As Naruto just goes inside and he's like, "Spoiled ramen? Who am I kidding?" As he just extends his hand and literally creates ramen out of thin air. And he's like, "These guys don't even know." And this is mostly how it goes on for the rest of his entire time in the academy, right? Because, seriously, for Naruto, the academy is just a little bit too easy. I don't know. Like, the strongest anime character in the entirety of the world, maybe just a little bit too strong for the Ninja Academy. I don't know. But with that said, Naruto obviously passes the graduation exam, and Team 7 is formed with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, and them being assigned to Kakashi as their Jonin sensei. Now, hearing this, Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura, just end up waiting and waiting and waiting for quite a long time until Kakashi eventually decides to arrive, giving another one of his lame excuses on, a black cat crossed his path, or he got lost on the path of life. He gives another one of his stupid excuses, but nobody is buying it. And Naruto's like, okay. As Kakashi is about to speak, but Naruto says, "You're about to say, 'Meet me on the roof.'" And Kakashi says, "Meet me on the roof." As Kakashi looks at Naruto being like, "How did you know what I was gonna say?" And Naruto just smirks. Because guys, this isn't some sort of mind reading power, which it could be. This is the strongest power in all of anime. JoJo from Part 2's mind reading juice ability. Just kidding, it's not mind reading. You know when JoJo just like was like, you're gonna say this, and then they said that, and they're like, how did you know? It's not an anime power, but I did it for the memes because it would be really funny. If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's fine. It's really not important, trust me. But Naruto's like, okay, well, we're going upstairs. As Kakashi was about to body flicker up there when Naruto just instant transmissioned up to the roof. And from what I'm aware, instant transmission is a lot stronger than the body flicker. So Naruto gets there faster than Kakashi, and Kakashi is like, this kid is interesting, to say the least. I don't know what his powers are, but he seems incredibly, very powerful. I would never want to fight him. As he's like, oh, wait a second, I'm actually gonna have to fight him in the bell test. And he's like, doesn't matter, he can't be that strong, can he? And little did he know, he couldn't have been more wrong. As they waited for everyone else to come upstairs, and when they did, Kakashi was like, okay, well, everyone say your goals and dreams and likes and dislikes, that sort of stuff. With Sakura doing her usual thing, looking at Sasuke and being like, I like a certain someone and I want to be a certain somebody's wife, and does the whole thing she does in the original. Sasuke does the exact same thing, where he's like, I don't have any particular likes or dislikes, but my goal, or should I say, my determination, is to kill a certain someone, and also to put another certain someone in their place. Looking at Naruto, being like, I'm gonna beat Naruto someday. And if you guys heard a siren in the background, sorry about that. There's just a lot of background noise. And Naruto is like, well, I like ramen, and my goal is to become the Hokage and the strongest person in the ninja world. As he holds back the biggest laugh of his life as he's like, become the strongest person in the entire ninja world? Who am I kidding? Bro, I am the strongest person in all of anime. Like, forget the world. I am way too OP. As Naruto just barely holds in a bit of laughter. And Sasuke, looking at Naruto, notices that today he was wearing a sword. He's like, Naruto, why are you wearing a sword? As Naruto's like, yeah, there's a lot of abilities I have with this sword that, it's just like, now that I'm officially a ninja, I would want to keep this sword with me just in case I have to use it. As he said, for example, and he just took out his sword. And this is going to be like a combination of Bleach and Demon Slayer and any other anime that includes swords. As he's like, water breathing. And, he just does water wheel. As he creates a huge water wheel using his, sword. And Sasuke's impressed, being like, wow, that's really cool. And Naruto's like, yeah, it is. As he's like, you don't even know the full capabilities of this sword. That's just the second form of water breathing, which isn't even my strongest breathing style, nor is it the strongest ability in that one breathing style. But Sasuke doesn't know that. Kakashi is like, okay, well, guys, meet me at 7 a.m. sharp at the training grounds tomorrow, and make sure not to eat anything, and don't be late. And Naruto, hearing this, was just kind of like reading Kakashi's mind, because guess what? He can do that. And Naruto's like, really? Don't be late? How about you tell that to yourself, Kakashi? If you don't be late, maybe I'll arrive on time too. Kakashi's just like, sighs, and he's like, don't worry, I won't be late. That thing that happened today was just a one-time thing. I'm usually always on time. As Naruto bursts out laughing, because, he knows. As he's like, I want to learn why Kakashi is always so late. As he just goes up to Kakashi and touches him. And now he uses an ability that belongs to one of the Phantom Troop members from Hunter x Hunter. A Nen ability that allows somebody to search through everybody's memories. Like, you can search through a person's memories that even they don't remember. So this is like mind reading on another level. So instead of seeing what they're thinking, now you see all of their memories. And Naruto looking at Kakashi's memories is like, wow. Okay, yeah, I really don't care if he's late anymore. He's been through a lot, and he's just like, yeah, Kakashi, you know what? It doesn't matter. You can be late. Just acting all casual as if he didn't just go through all of Kakashi's memories or something. And Naruto's like, goodbye, see you tomorrow, as he just instant transmissions to his house. Kakashi's like, that's an interesting kid. As Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura just take the lame way home, which is walking. Like, who walks when they can teleport? Like, come on. And so, yeah, the next day, everyone goes to the training grounds and meets up. So, when everyone arrives, Kakashi's like, okay, everyone's ready. I'm just gonna explain the rules. And Kakashi explains how he has 2 bells, and they're gonna have to try and get the bells from him. Now, the people who aren't able to get the bells will be sent back to the academy, and people who can get the bells are going to be they're gonna stay on the team, right? And Sakura's like, but there are 3 of us. How are we supposed to get the bells if there's only 3 of us? One of us has to fail. And Kakashi's like, yeah, exactly. That's the point. And Kakashi says, start, as everyone goes out to hide in the bushes, while Naruto just stands there in the open. And Kakashi sits down and starts reading his book. And Naruto's like, not sure you want to do that. How about you try attacking me? And Kakashi just continues reading his book. So, Naruto says, well, I see how it is. Well, how about if I do this? And Naruto literally dashes at Kakashi with such insane speeds that Kakashi just can't react, as Naruto just dashes through there, sending his hand through Kakashi's chest as Kakashi poofs into a cloud of smoke. And Naruto's like, come out, wherever you are. And then he just turns his head to stare at the real Kakashi who's hiding in the bush. And Kakashi at this point is scared. He is literally like, who is this guy? How does he know I'm here? How does he know I was a shadow clone? How does he, he's just thinking, what is going on? As he's just about to move, as he turns around to see Naruto standing behind him. And he's like, when did Naruto get here? He was standing there a moment ago. Now he's behind me? And he's just looking at Naruto, as Naruto's Naruto literally just smirks, right? An evil smirk. He smirks an evil smirk. As he puts his fist down, creating a big fist, as he says, Jan can rock, the Nen ability that Gon has. If I mispronounce that, I am so sorry, but Naruto's fist starts glowing a bright orangish reddish color, and Naruto punches straight at Kakashi. Now, Kakashi activates his Sharingan and barely manages to dodge out of the way of this attack, as Naruto's like, good. Well, this will at least be a little bit more entertaining. As Kakashi's like, who is this kid? I don't even understand what's going on. As Naruto just points his hand at Kakashi, just like points at Kakashi. And Kakashi's like, oh no, what is he doing now? And Naruto starts creating a very condensed orb of energy at the point of his fingertip. As Kakashi, feeling the energy that this orb has, like his instincts just run. If you get hit by this, you will be killed. As Kakashi tries running away. And Naruto's like, oh, so that's how it is, huh? Well, if you're just gonna play the defensive game, I guess I can just stop playing around and take the bells. As Kakashi's like, huh? And Naruto faces him and says, Zawarudo, as he stops time and uses Zawardo or Star Platinum. Either one works, really. Because they both have the Zawardo time stop ability. And he just makes a stand, go over there and steal the bells, put it in his pocket, and he resumes time. And Kakashi's like, what did he just do? As you know, he just checks his body for any scars. And Naruto's like, oh, don't worry, I didn't injure you. Here are the bells. And he just takes them out of his pocket. And Kakashi right now is like, I got absolutely destroyed, like demolished by a genin. And he got the bells from me without even breaking a sweat with my Sharingan active. And Kakashi's just like, who is this? While Naruto's like, oh, by the way, you two, you can take the bells. I don't need these. Since, remember, Naruto looked into all of Kakashi's memories, so he can read his mind, so he knows the true purpose of the bell test. Now it's about teamwork. And he's like, so, Kakashi, do I pass? And Kakashi's like, yeah, I suppose so. And he explains the true nature of this thing, how it was supposed to be about teamwork, but, Naruto wasn't supposed to absolutely destroy him, but, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, after that, Team 7 officially becomes a complete team. And so after that, they start going on D-rank missions, right? And after 2 D-rank missions, Naruto's already bored. He's like, Hiruzen, these D-rank missions are super boring. And Hiruzen's like, come on, just do a bit more and I'll give you something harder. And Naruto's like, really? How many more do we have to do? You know what, how about this? I'll do 50 D-rank missions and then you have to give us something harder, okay? And Hiruzen's like, sure. As he's like, okay, well, you have to catch this cat. As he gives Naruto the mission, and as he gives Naruto the mission, Naruto takes the mission and just does it in like 1 millisecond and comes back to the Hokage's office looking like he just teleported. And he says, done. And Hiruzen's like, what? Okay, here, have this one. As Naruto's like, done. Like coming back in like 3 milliseconds. And he keeps doing this literally 50 times until in the span of a couple minutes, in the span of just a couple minutes, he has already completed 50 D-rank missions. Like, that is absolutely insane. Anyways, because of that, since Hiruzen did make an agreement, he's like, well, okay, you know what? You can have a C-rank mission. I don't even care. I have no idea what sort of weird-ass power you have. Just, take the C-rank mission. As Naruto's like, yeah, finally. And with that, they now have the C-rank mission of escorting Tazna. Now, they're told to meet up at the gate the next day so that they can all come together and, well, escort Tazna, I guess. Now, before they head off to escort Tazna, as Naruto was heading home that day, Sasuke comes after him and he's like, Naruto, I don't know what powers you have, but I'm challenging you to a fight. In this fight, we fight fair and square, and if I beat you, you have to admit that I'm stronger than you. And Sasuke is thinking that he actually has a chance of beating Naruto, and then if he can beat Naruto, he should be ready. Like, no, if he can beat Naruto, that's a step in the direction of being able to beat Itachi. And he's just thinking this in his head, right? And Naruto's like, really? Okay. And Sasuke's like, okay, let's start. As he starts running at Naruto, and he tries punching at Naruto, right? But his fist just stops. Like, when he was almost 2 centimeters away from Naruto, he just couldn't hit him. His fist stopped and couldn't move any closer. As Naruto said, "Let me show you the true difference in power here." And he just, after 1 second, Sasuke died, as Naruto used his heartbeat to kill him. And if you're like, Naruto used his heartbeat to kill Sasuke, yeah, this is something Anos Voldigod, I don't know how to pronounce his name, used against someone. So you guys already know where this is going if you watch that. Sasuke dies, as Naruto's like, Ingal, or guys, I don't know how to pronounce that. You know that revival technique that Anos uses? Ingal. It's spelled Ingal. Ingal. Yeah, he does that. As he says Ingal. And Sasuke gets revived as a green, portal appears from the ground, and Sasuke comes back to life, fully healed, and he's like, what happened? As Naruto kills him again, and then revives him. As Sasuke's like, what are you doing? Did I just die? And Naruto's like, yeah, you did. And I'm just gonna keep killing and reviving you until you admit defeat. As Sasuke dies and gets revived, gets revived, all the way until he finally admits defeat, saying that, okay, Naruto, I get it, you're stronger than me. I'm sorry for challenging you. I admit defeat. As Naruto's like, good. And he just starts walking away, and then disappears, using instant transmission to just teleport back to his house. Sasuke's like, what on earth just happened to me? But anyways, the next morning, they all meet up to escort Tazuna, the bridge builder, right? And, everybody meets up at the gate, and, when Tazuna sees Team 7, he's like, yeah, these kids are supposed to protect me? He's just thinking in his head because he's sober now. He's like, these kids are supposed to protect me? I'm not sure. And then he sees Naruto. The straight up aura that's coming off of him, that just presence he has, is enough to completely scare Tazuna so much that he completely shuts up. He's like, oh, okay, oh, wow. And he's like, he just decides not to say anything. And with that, Team 7 heads off on their way to the land of the waves. Now, on their way there, they just encounter a puddle, right? Just a random puddle. But Naruto, being like the 1 million IQ person he is, realizes that this puddle is a genjutsu. And Naruto just sees through the puddle, seeing the demon brothers. Now, seeing this, Naruto is like, okay, as he pulls out a kunai and sends it flying into the puddle, as the demon brothers jump out, with one of them having a kunai on their shoulder because, well, Naruto hit them with the kunai. As they both head in at Team 7 and mostly Tazuna, as they seem to hit an invisible border and fall down. And Naruto is like, so that's what you were trying to do. As Naruto literally touches them, and the demon brothers just decay, disintegrate almost into nothing. And Team 7, seeing Naruto being able to disintegrate people, like, just by touching them, is surprised. They're like, wow, that is some crazy good ability. And it is. It's stupidly OP. Sorry guys, I had to go do something, but I'm back. So, after this, Team 7 would head off on their way, continuing on their journey to the land of the waves. Now, along the way, a thick fog started rolling in with, Team 7 kind of being curious, like, what's up with the mist? As Tazna was like, that's pretty normal around here. It's called the Hidden Mist Village for a reason. If you're gonna find mist anywhere, it's gonna be here. And hearing this, Team 7 was like, yeah, that makes sense. Everyone except for Naruto, because Naruto could tell this was a jutsu. He was not fooled in the slightest. So, when suddenly a huge blade just came overhead and Kakashi yelled, "Duck!" Everybody ducked, except for Naruto, who just stayed standing, and as the blade came towards him, literally just caught the blade with his hand and crushed it into a bunch of tiny pieces. As Zabuza, came from down from the sky, assuming that the blade would be lodged into a tree and, hoping that he would land on it. But as he, fell down, he looked as he saw Naruto, who had just currently destroyed his blade into a bunch of tiny pieces. Now, Zabuza just said, "Impressive. I haven't seen anybody do that." As he looks at Kakashi and says, Kakashi Hatake. I've heard of you, the copy ninja. And, Kakashi was about to say, "Zabuza Momochi, demon of the mist." And, he was just like, saying, I know you. You're, Zabuza Momochi, demon of the mist. And he's just like, saying that. And Zabuza's like, looks like I was recognized. And Naruto's like, so, his name's Zabuza Momochi, right? And Kakashi's like, yeah, why do you need that? As Naruto just says nothing, as he puts off his backpack that he had been wearing, because he had been wearing like a tiny backpack, right? And from his backpack, he pulled out a notebook and a pen. As he said, inside of his notebook, he wrote, Zabuza Momochi. And then closed his notebook, put it in his backpack, and just put the pen back inside. It said, Zabuza, in 40 seconds, you will die of a heart attack. And Zabuza he just chuckled and was like, what do you mean? There's no way that's happening. Like, he's obviously thinking that the kid is joking or something. As Naruto's like, nah, I'm serious. And also, hey, Haku, come here. And see, here's the thing. Technically, Naruto should also have the Shinigami eyes, so he didn't need Kakashi to tell me it was Zabuza Momochi. Yeah, that's true. He technically has the Shinigami eyes. And if you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, but that decreases health lifespan by 2 times. That's like 2 times less health lifespan. And Naruto's immortal, guys. Like, infinity divided by 2 is infinity. Like, come on. But yeah, so Naruto does have the Shinigami eyes. And anyways, Zabuza in 40 seconds dies of a heart attack. She's like, that kid was right all along. And he falls to the ground, dropping dead. As Haku, seeing this, comes in from outside of the trees, being like, what did you do to my master? Since you did that, I must kill you too. As Haku rushed in at Naruto, wasting no time in creating the demonic ice crystal mirrors. And Naruto, seeing these mirrors, is like, oh, impressive. And Haku, in a full rage mode, dashed from mirror to mirror, sending Senmon at high speeds right at Naruto's vital points, with Naruto literally just catching the Senbon, one by one, plucking them out of the air. As Haku's like, but how? he shouldn't be able to keep up with my speed, yet alone catch my senbon out of the air. As Naruto's, Haku keeps throwing senbon, as Naruto's like, okay, my turn. As Naruto jumps up into the air, making Haku miss 3 of the senbon he just threw, and then Haku throws some more senbon, where Naruto deflects those senbon with his own senbon, and then throws the senbon at Haku, who's currently just in between mirrors. At such speeds, the senbon literally goes through Haku. Now, he didn't hit a vital point, he just hit like somewhere around Haku's stomach, but this was enough to make Haku just, lose his focus for just a second. And seeing this, Naruto's like, okay, finally that you gave me the time, now I can peacefully destroy your ice mirrors. As Naruto extends his hands in both directions and uses Bakugo's explosion quirk to set off a humongous explosion, and Haku's like, you think that's gonna destroy my mirror? And in the middle of Haku's sentence, Naruto uses the smoke created by the explosion to set off another explosion of much greater magnitude. And this isn't Bakugo's quirk at this point. This is something far superior, as he creates a humongous explosion, literally obliterating the ice mirrors and almost killing Haku just because of the, in Blast's power. And Naruto's like, okay, well, I feel like it's time to finish you off. As he uses his telekinesis to slowly lift Haku into the air and pulls Haku closer to him, as he's like, I'm sorry, but you must die. As he uses a kunai to finish the job, killing Haku. With that said, Kakashi's like, wow, Naruto's ruthless. Like, he's at this age and he's already killing people? Interesting. And, after that, they just head over to Tasuna's house, and they have some time to eat, rest, train, and everything. And after that, they head off to help Tasuna finish his bridge, just kind of monitoring everything and helping him out every day. And but by the second day they were watching, just making sure nothing happened to Tasuna. Naruto was like, you know what, why don't I just finish this bridge for you? And Tasuna looked up and was like, what do you mean? And Naruto just said, I mean, I could probably finish this bridge for you in a very short amount of time. And Tasuna's looking at him like, what do you mean? And Naruto just suddenly, all of the bricks and structures that Tasuna, like the materials for the structures that Tasuna had lying around on the bridge, suddenly started levitating as Naruto placed all of the materials into the exact positions required, basically building almost half of the remaining required bridge, almost basically building half of the required bridge in a couple seconds. As Tasuna's like, wow, why didn't you do that earlier? You could have just finished the entire bridge in 10 seconds. And Naruto's like, yeah, I don't know. And he's just like, I don't know why. As a bunch of mercenaries suddenly come on boats. And on these boats is also a certain individual called Gato. As, Gato came with a bunch, hundreds of mercenaries. And Naruto just doesn't even bat an eye at the mercenaries and is like, can you guys go away? This is really not the time for I don't really have time for you guys. And Gato's like, what do you mean? I am Gato. Do you know who I am? I have brought hundreds of mercenaries and I will kill you. He does his speech. Naruto's like, you kill me? as Naruto's like, he just like, all he does is points his hand at like one entire boat of mercenaries, and the entire boat literally disappears into another dimension. He just teleports the entire boat away. And then the next boat, as he just literally wipes all of the boats out of this dimension. As Gato was literally just watching his hundreds and hundreds of mercenaries just get exiled into another dimension with the pointing of Naruto's finger. He's like, "Who do you think you are?" As he starts running at Naruto, and just when he's about to touch Naruto, his fist just stops midair, and Gato notices that he just can't touch Naruto, no matter how hard he tries. As Naruto just continues on his journey of, sending the boats to other dimensions until he's done with all of the mercenaries. He's like, "Oh, I forgot about you. You're next." As Gato's like, "Wait, no, please, stop. And Naruto's like, "Oh no, don't worry, I won't exile you to another dimension." As Naruto suddenly, creates a wooden pillar, right? Just like takes a wooden log, right? He just creates a wooden log and creates rope, right? Because that's one of his abilities. He can create matter out of nothing, even though there's he doesn't care about the laws of physics, doesn't care about the law of conservation of matter. No, he can literally just create matter. I'm pretty sure the Sage of Six Paths could do that too. And Naruto just ties him to that log and gives him to the villagers for them to do what they want with Gato. Okay, I'm back. And just so you guys know why it's cutting out so much, I'm kind of recording this in 10-minute parts. So it's kind of like, I'm not gonna record an entire 1 hour movie in one sitting. And also that creates a lot of problems when it comes to exporting. So I just kind of have to record it like this. Anyways, after that, Naruto gets deemed the hero of the Land of the Waves, I guess, and the bridge gets called the Great Naruto Bridge. With that, Team 7 heads back to back to Konoha. I'm lost for words. And while everybody else just walks to Konoha like normal people, Naruto literally just instant transmissions, just teleports, right? He literally just teleports to his house. And he's like, "Oh, wait a second." As he comes back, takes all of Team 7 and teleports Team 7 with him to the Hokage's office so that they can be paid appropriately for their mission. Now, after this happens, Kakashi decides to inform everyone on the upcoming Chuunin exams. Now, of course, Team 7 has no reason to decline this offer, so everyone agrees to join the Chuunin exams. And with that, they have a 1 week period to train, although Naruto really doesn't need it, because he already has every power in anime, right? He is an immortal being that can easily destroy and create entire universes. This is beyond God level. That's what we're talking here, right? So this is when we head off the Chuunin exams, and Team 7 heads in. Also, sorry if you heard a siren in the background. I don't know, there was an ambulance or something passing by. I cut that out. Hopefully you didn't hear it. But anyways, Team 7 makes it to the Chuunin exams building, where first they are meted by a genjutsu. And Naruto just walks up to the guy who is creating the genjutsu, the guy who's disguised as a genin, waiting by the door for that area. And Naruto just walks up to him and says, take down the genjutsu. As he's like, yeah, why should I? As he rushes in at Naruto, trying to punch him. But Naruto grabs his fist and literally just explodes his fist, right? His fist just explodes, like, into nothingness. And his entire hand is gone now. And the guy is like, I'm sorry. I'll take it down right away. As, he takes down the genjutsu, and he's like, my hand. This guy destroyed my hand. As Naruto's like, oh, don't worry, I'll fix that for you. As he touches the guy's missing hand, and it literally just completely regenerates. And that guy is like, who was that? He can create and destroy my hand with a touch? And Naruto, with that, just goes upstairs, where he meets Rock Lee, of course. Like, what did you expect, guys? And Rock Lee does his entire thing where he's like, Naruto Uzumaki, I challenge you to a battle to prove that I am a splendid shinobi. He does this whole thing. And Naruto says, you know what? Sure, let's fight. As they go over to the area, and Rock Lee gets into a fighting position and says, taijutsu only, okay? And Naruto is like, yeah, sure. As Rock Lee rushes straight in at Naruto, who at this point hasn't even moved yet. And Rock Lee immediately comes in with a full combo. He punches, cross, jab, he kicks him, does his whole leaf hurricane, and then does, kick after kick. He's just getting punch after punch on Naruto. And then after like his 20th punch on Naruto, he stops and sees a Naruto who at this point doesn't have a single bruise on him and hasn't moved at all since the beginning of this battle. He has been standing in one position, not moving an inch, not flinching in the slightest for this entire time, when Rock Lee was just continuously barraging him with attacks. As Naruto just says, impressive, you have potential. As he just, does one punch, right? Just one simple punch, like 0.001% of his power, and just barely taps Rock Lee on his chest, sending Gaara flying into the wall. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Naruto basically just tapped him. It's not even a punch, and Gaara got sent flying through the wall. As Gaara got knocked out, and Naruto says, I see a lot of potential in you. As he puts his hand over Rock Lee's chest, and a green aura starts to appear around his hand. And then it stops as Naruto walks away. Meanwhile, Rock Lee suddenly wakes up. He's like, what just happened? I feel stronger somehow. And he looks at Naruto and says, was this your doing, Naruto? And Naruto just doesn't reply and walks away from Team 7 as he says, come on, we're gonna be late to part 1. And on his way out of the room, he turns around, looks at Gaara, and smiles. And from that look alone, Gaara's like, yeah, he did that. He gets his answer. And Naruto's smile, just told Gaara, oh my god, Rock Lee everything he needed to know. He knows Naruto did whatever he did, and now Gaara is somehow... Why do I keep calling him Gaara? Rock Lee is somehow now stronger. Now, this is when we go to the part 1 of the Chuunin exams, where Ibiki, tells them how this is the written portion of the exam, and they're gonna have to do this entire test. And Naruto hearing this is like, oh, that's pretty simple. And Ibiki gives them all the test as Naruto looking at it is like, oh, well that's easy. As, the instant Ibiki gives him the paper, right? Ibiki gives him the paper, and as he gives it to Naruto, Naruto gives it back and says, done. And Ibiki's like, I just gave it to you. Like, what do you mean you're done? And he looks at the paper, and all of the questions have already been answered. And Ibiki's like, who is this kid? How did he just do that? But he accepts, he says, keep the paper. There's going to be a 10th question coming up. And Naruto's like, okay, that'll be easy, I guess, as well. And with that, we have a 30-minute Naruto waiting there and doing nothing montage because he already finished. And after that, Ibiki finally announces the 10th question, with Naruto obviously deciding to stay, and Team 7 passes. Now, after this, Anko just comes in through the window, shattering it, being like, come on, guys, head off to the Forest of Death for part 2 of the Chuunin exams. And, Anko's doing her whole thing, while Ibiki's just standing there, shaking his head, being like, Anko, there's a door for a reason, as Anko just ignores him, and she's like, come on, everybody, let's go. And Naruto just instant transmissions there, obviously, because who walks? Like, come on, like, walking is for lame people. And so Naruto just teleports there, with everyone following soon after him. And this is where Anko explains the rules for the Forest of Death, where she says that you're gonna get one scroll, and you have to get the other scroll from one of the teams. Killing is now allowed. You have to sign this paper that totally doesn't mean you're signing your life away, and obviously everybody signs the paper, and they head off to their gates to get ready. And with that, Anko says, go, 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 as everyone rushes into the Forest of Death. Now, Naruto is just like, okay, well, here, watch this. As he lifts up his hand and creates the scroll they're looking for out of thin air. Like, out of thin hair. Thin hair? Wow. Out of thin air. Just like, he creates the scroll they need. And Sasuke and Sakura are just looking at Naruto, being like, yo, is that cheating? And Naruto's like, you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. As he lights the scroll he made on fire, as it turns into nothing but ashes. And then he extends his hand, pointing it in a certain direction. As for like 3 seconds, or 5, Team 7 just waits there, in silence. Nothing happens. And Sasuke was about to say, what are you doing, Naruto? As a scroll just came flying out of the woods, like right into Naruto's hand. And Naruto caught it, being like, okay, well that wasn't cheating, because I got that from another team. As Sasuke and Sakura couldn't complain at all. So they just went with it. And also, if you're hearing background noise, I think a helicopter is like going over my house. Normally this house is very peaceful and quiet. But then when I start recording, my little brother starts playing drums, and a fire truck goes outside of my door, and then there's a helicopter. Like, bro, everything just waits to make noise all the way until I start recording. And then everyone's like, okay, now make noise, so that, you can't record. But sorry for going on that rant. Anyways, Naruto could have just brought everyone to the finish line just easily, but Naruto decided, he sensed a presence. So instead of going straight to the finish line, he teleported Sasuke and Sakura to the finish line, giving them the scrolls, and then he teleported to Orochimaru. And he teleported to Orochimaru, who was heading off in the direction where Team 7 was before Naruto teleported them to the finish line. And Orochimaru just stopped, as he sensed an immense presence coming off of Naruto. And Orochimaru said, who are you? As Naruto just smirked and was like, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You want the Sharingan, don't you? The Uchiha Keke Genkai. As Orochimaru just like confused, said, "Yeah, how do you know?" And Naruto just said, "Well, if that's what you're looking for, I have something much greater." As Naruto opened his eyes, right, this man has a how do I say this? He has a Rinne Eternal Mangekyo Byaku Sharingan. Like, imagine a Rinnegan with a Byakugan with an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, all combined into one dojutsu, right? Oh, and don't forget Ishiki's dojutsu and the Ketsurya-gan, okay? Those included as well. So every single dojutsu in Naruto is in Naruto's eyes, activated at the same time. And just by activating his eyes, Naruto is able to create enough pressure to literally scare Orochimaru. And Naruto's like, "Yeah, you think that's impressive? That's nothing compared to my full power." As Naruto blitzes at Orochimaru, like at speeds Orochimaru can't comprehend, and punches Orochimaru so many times that Orochimaru just doesn't know what to do. And then, just because he wants to make this even more painful for Orochimaru, he says, "Golden experience," as a golden stand appears next to him, and it starts punch barraging Orochimaru with punch after punch after punch after punch. And if you guys don't know, Golden Experience's special ability is basically, if he's using that to punch a bunch of other people, it can make it so that that person experiences the punches in slow motion, which only increases the amount of pain that Orochimaru is feeling. And then, after that, Naruto literally just says, "Okay, I've had my fun. It's time for you to die." As Naruto just puts his hands up to the sky, as from his hands, this humongous orb starts to get formed. This orb of pure energy. And it grows and grows and it grows as Orochimaru, who would run away at full speed because that's what his instincts are telling him, but he physically can't. Somehow he can't move. He's paralyzed. As Naruto sends down the orb, making it fly at Orochimaru and explode. And the explosion is so huge that it destroys everything in like a couple mile radius. How big is the Forest of Death? You know what, let's just make it a 1 mile radius, because Naruto was holding back just so that he didn't kill other teams accidentally, right? But Orochimaru gets completely disintegrated down to the atom. Of course, he will come back, because, Orochimaru always comes back. But, yeah, with that, Team 7 passes the second part of the Chuunin exams in record speed. After Team 7 finally makes it to the finish line, the instructor, not finally makes it to the after all the other teams finally make it to the finishing zone, the proctor is just like, "Okay, well, we're gonna have preliminaries because too many people passed, blah, 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 blah." And Naruto's like, "Oh, well, this shouldn't be too hard." And correct he is, because it really wasn't that hard. And, first, it was Sasuke versus that chakra-stealing guy. And since Sasuke doesn't have a curse mark on him, this was more than easy enough for him. Afterwards, it was Naruto versus Kiba, with Kiba being like, "Finally, this is my chance to prove that I'm stronger than Naruto. And then, after I beat Naruto, I can become Hokage." He's thinking all of this as Naruto steps down to the field and is like, "I'm fighting Kiba. Dang, I kind of wanted something a bit more fun." As you guys might know what I'm about to do. And as Kiba's like, "Dang it, why? How dare you?" As Kiba's about to rush at Naruto, but Naruto kills Kiba with his heartbeat. I know I already did this, but I definitely wanted to do this with Kiba, because since Anos does this with that other guy, this felt like an appropriate time to do this. And just using his heartbeat, Naruto kills Kiba, as he says Ingal, or Ingal. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. I didn't watch the dub. And a green portalish thing opens in the ground as Kiba comes back out alive, and he's like, wait, I'm alive, what happened? And Naruto says, I killed you with my heartbeat. And Kiba's like, yo, this guy, he's on another level, as Naruto kills him again and revives him, and kills him again and revives him. He's like, are you gonna give up yet? And Kiba is like, please, I'll do anything, just stop this, let me go. And he's like, I surrender, please. As Naruto's like, good, you can go. As he looks at the Proctor and says, look, he gave up, he surrendered. And the Proctor's like, yeah, okay, you win. And with that, all the other matches go the same, except for Gaara versus Rock Lee. Because in this version of events, remember, Naruto gave Gaara a special, Rock Lee a special boost. I keep calling Rock Lee Gaara for some reason. But so when the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight happened, after Rock Lee decided to open the 4th gate, he felt something weird. And that's why he decided to go to the 5th gate. And then the 6th. And then all the way up to the 7th. And my guy watching from the sidelines was like, no, Rock Lee, what are you doing? What's going on? As Rock Lee just said, I don't know, my guy sensei. It's just, I felt, I don't know, but I feel like I can do this. And, he just doesn't know what's happening, but something in his instinct is just telling him to do this. As Rock Lee activates the 7th gate, he feels no pain. And he's just like looking at himself, being like, Guy Sensei, I feel no pain or anything. This seems to have no side effects. And he doesn't dare to go to the 8th gate yet, even though somehow he can, because the power that Naruto gave him allowed him to do that with no side effects. Like, think about that. You can just spam 8th gate. And so Rock Lee with the 7th gate absolutely destroys Gaara. Like, it's not even close in the slightest, right? And with that, that's the end of the preliminaries. Now, if you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, but now Naruto's gonna go train with Jiraiya. No, Naruto is gonna meet Jiraiya, but the encounter is gonna be a lot different, because instead of Jiraiya training Naruto, Naruto is gonna train Jiraiya. And basically, when they meet, Naruto's already gonna know who Jiraiya is, how he's his godfather, and everything. And Naruto is gonna offer to train Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's gonna be like, wait, what, you train me? And Naruto's like, yeah, I can give you perfected Sage Mode. As Jiraiya's like, wait, what did you say? And Naruto's like, just close your eyes. As he puts his palm onto Jiraiya's chest, as suddenly Jiraiya feels himself overflowing with nature energy, as he once again opens his eyes to see perfect Sage Mode. And Naruto's like, yeah, there you go. As Jiraiya looks at himself and he's like, wow, this power, this is incredible. And Naruto is like, yeah, you can thank me later. See ya. And Jiraiya's like, see you, I guess. Wait, what? And, he's just really confused. But that's basically how the entire 1 month break goes. Except for also an encounter with Rock Lee and Naruto, where Rock Lee asks Naruto what that power that he gave him was. And Naruto says, well, let's just say you can use all 8 gates with no side effects. And Rock Lee hearing this is like, no way, that is so OP. And Naruto's like, yeah, it is. So this is when we skip to the final part of the Chuunin exams, the final tournament. And guess what? The Konoha crush won't be happening. Why? Because first of all, Orochimaru got disintegrated down to the atom. And although he will revive himself, he's not able to revive himself in like 1 month, right? It's going to take him a lot longer. So he won't be here in time for the Konoha crush. Second of all, Gaara isn't in the final stage of the exam, which means he won't be able to go berserk and, turn into the thing after Sasuke and Gaara's fight and everything. So, first match is Naruto versus Neji, where Neji does his entire speech about how he's destined to win, right? And Naruto is like, yeah, you're destined to win? Okay. As he says, you're gonna win because you have the Byakugan, right? As Neji's like, yeah, why? As Naruto closes his eyes and opens them again to show the Rinne Eternal Mangekyo Byaku Ketsuryu Ishiki's Dojutsu, whatever that's called, Sharingan. He reveals, guys, if the audio is cutting out randomly at times, I'm sorry, there's not much I can do about it. But, he reveals his super OP eye with every dojutsu in it. He's like, yeah, well, your measly Hyuga Byakugan does not compare to this. As he says, 8 trigrams, 6,400,000 palms, which is literally just the 64 palms technique, except literally 100,000 times stronger. So Neji gets absolutely destroyed by this one attack, right? And after this, we have all the other matches going the exact same, all the way until Sasuke and Rock Lee's fight, since remember, Rock Lee beat Gaara. Now, you guys might be thinking, oh wow, this is going to be a really cool fight, Rock Lee versus Sasuke. I wonder who will win. Do you think this is even close? Rock Lee currently has power levels, his power level right now is around Ten Tails Jinchuriki Madara level, because, he can access the 8th gate. And Sasuke is just Chuunin level at this point in time. Even though he has a Tutomori Sharingan and the Chidori, that doesn't compare to Rock Lee's power. And off the bat, Rock Lee opens up to the 6th gate. And, Sasuke gets absolutely destroyed until he backs up and decides to use the Chidori. And Rock Lee just stands there as Sasuke's just like, wait, he's gonna take the blow? Well, he's underestimating my attack. I'll just pierce straight through his heart. And Rock Lee opens the 7th gate, even though he doesn't have to. And literally goes behind Sasuke so fast that Sasuke would assume he teleported, kicks him in the back, slams him into the ground, and then punches him into the sky again, really high, and then just hits him one last time, and Sasuke just gets knocked out. He doesn't stand a chance at all. After this, all of the matches keep on going on, because remember, the tournament does not get, disturbed by the entire Konoha crush thing happening. So, Shikamaru ended up beating Tamari, and all of the other matches ended up going the same, as Rock Lee fought Tamari and won, and Naruto also fought the other people who won, and Rock Lee and Naruto just kept defeating everyone else until it was time for the finals. And the reason I didn't cover it, because first of all, it's a waste of time, and second of all, I don't need to go through Naruto absolutely destroying people over and over again, because it's just gonna get boring and repetitive. So now, it's Naruto versus Rock Lee. As Rock Lee says, I hope we have a fair match, Naruto. I don't know if my new power will be able to defeat you, but please do not hold back. As Naruto hearing this is like, don't hold back. If I didn't hold back, I would destroy this entire universe. But he doesn't say this. He's like, yeah, sure. As Rock Lee, right off the bat, activates the 8 gates. As the 8th gate, like literally the 8th gate. This is 10 Tails Madara level. And Rock Lee runs in at Naruto, as Naruto and Rock Lee get into an intense taijutsu battle, with each of them exchanging blows. Now Naruto at this point is kind of holding back just to make Rock Lee feel good, as you know, they're exchanging blows with both of them having, well, equal sort of skill level, what it seems to be equal skill level, because remember Naruto's holding back at this point in time. And then Naruto just lets Rock Lee get one good punch on him, punching him down to the ground. As Rock Lee's like, wow, this power, I feel so strong. As, you know, my guy's watching from the stands being like, Rock Lee is able to access the 8th gate like this. He's probably the strongest shinobi in the world, but Naruto, how is he surviving? And, you know, Naruto stands up and says, okay, well, you have the 8 gates. I also have something. As Naruto activates Ultra Instinct. You guys heard me right. I didn't want to have him use this because it's literally way too OP, but I feel like now's the time. And also, if you just heard the glitching out again, I don't know if you did, but maybe you did. I'm sorry for that glitching out stuff with the mic. It might be happening, I don't know, but there's not much I can do about it. So Naruto now is Ultra Instinct, as Rock Lee is like, yo, I might have the 8 gates, but this is on a completely different level. As Naruto wastes no time, and as Rock Lee rushes in at him, he just dodges with like no effort. He's just like almost automatically dodging, and then he just basically teleports behind Gaara and chops him in the back so hard that it slams him like almost a kilometer deep into the ground, creating like a crater, and knocks Gaara out. And then he uses telekinesis to bring Gaara out of that hole, repair the humongous crater that he just created, and then places Gaara down. And he's like, Proctor, Rock Lee seems to be knocked out. I think I've won. And the Proctor's like, yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, that seems correct. And so yeah, Naruto passes and gets promoted to Jonin, and so does Rock Lee, because after Hiruzen saw what happened in this match, he decided that definitely Rock Lee and Naruto have to be promoted to Jonin. At least they are Hokage level, like they're stronger than Hiruzen, and Hiruzen, not being too stupid, recognized this. He also promoted Shikamaru and Sasuke up to Chuunin. Now after this, Sasuke was like, hey Naruto, you know how you made Rock Lee powerful? Is there any way you can make me stronger too? So Naruto's like, you know what? I can. As he said, Sasuke, close your eyes. As Sasuke did. And Naruto placed his hand on, Sasuke's face, as Sasuke suddenly felt a strong burning in his eyes, and he's like, instinctively he opened his eyes back up, like from the pain. He's like, Naruto, what did you do? As Naruto was like, look at your eyes. As Sasuke looked down at a puddle, looking at his eyes, seeing that he now had the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And if you guys are like, but he can't get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan because he has to get Itachi's eyes and put those in to get it. Naruto literally controls reality. He doesn't need to do any of that. He can just directly give Sasuke an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And so Sasuke is now really powerful as well, since Naruto also gave him an extra power boost that already allowed him to use a huge chunk of the Susanoo. Like, not perfect Susanoo, but like armored Susanoo. And he also made it so that, Sasuke knew how to use his Mangekyo Sharingan abilities with the Amaterasu and everything. And Sasuke's like, wow, thanks Naruto, this helps a lot. And Naruto's like, yeah, no problem, as he walks away. Now, we skip over to the Akatsuki base, where the Akatsuki are plotting their next move. They're just like, this Naruto kid, he's too strong to be left alive. He defeated an 8 Gates level Rock Lee. I think we have to kill him. You guys know what to do. As all of the Akatsuki were off on their way. Now, it took them maybe 10 hours to get there, and this was enough time for Naruto to sleep and then wake up again. As that morning, he woke up to an explosion outside. As he woke up and looked at the Akatsuki members and said, Why do you do this? This is literally suicide. You're trying to kill me? Do you understand how powerful I am? And, he doesn't actually say this, but he just walks up to them and he's like, what do you want? And they're like, we're here to kill you and extract the 9 tails within you. As Naruto's like, yeah, not happening. As Naruto literally in 0.0000000000001 seconds kills every single Akatsuki member except for Obito. As Obito's like, what just happened? As Obito was just barely lucky enough to have had his Kamui active at the exact moment Naruto decided to do this. This wasn't because Obito was able to react to Naruto's movements. Nah, he can't. But it's mostly because Obito just happened to have Kamui active. Plot. As he's like, how are you so powerful? And Naruto says, I don't know, I just am. As Obito's like, no matter, you will die. As he summons Madara. And seeing Madara, Naruto's like, you know what? Hey, Rock Lee, you there? As Rock Lee, who was already running to the battlefield, hearing the explosion, was like, yeah, Naruto, what do you want? As he's like, hey, can you deal with Madara there? As Rock Lee's like, yeah, sure. As he activates his 8th gate. And judging that 8 Gates guy was able to beat a 10 Tails Madara, an 8 Gates Rock Lee, who has a version of the 8 Gates that has no side effects, should be able to be a normal Madara. And seeing this happen, Obito's like, I feel like we messed with the wrong village, bro. No, Madara's getting destroyed. I feel like this shouldn't be happening, right? And Naruto's like, yeah, well, it's time for you to die. As before Naruto could do anything, Obito, hearing this, activated Kamui, and Naruto was about to attack him, but he decided not to, and he said, I have other ways to kill you, as he took out a notebook from his backpack that he always carries on him, and said, Obito Uchiha on it, as he said, well, goodbye, you'll be dying from a heart attack now, as in 40 seconds, Obito died from a heart attack, because you guys probably know that Naruto just used the death note on him. I actually had a what if on this. What if Naruto had the death note? It was just a one shot. This is a movie. The two different things. And yeah, meanwhile, Rock Lee dealt with Madara. But that's really all. That's the end of the Akatsuki. And to be honest, I don't know what more to do with this what if. When Ishiki comes, Naruto could just Thanos snap him out of reality. Not actually do that, because he doesn't have Thanos' powers, but he could literally just destroy Ishiki from reality with the point of a finger, because Naruto's just that strong. And with that, Naruto becomes the Hokage, brings about an era of peace because nobody dares to mess with him. And yeah, that's the end of the what if. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that said, goodbye, and I'll see you next time.